be the best places to go skinny dipping. Today, we're counting down our picks for the top 10 most haunted bodies of water. For this list, we're looking at lakes, rivers, pools, and oceans that are allegedly haunted, based on mysterious, spooky, and hard-to-explain incidents that occurred there. Number 5. Chuuk Lagoon, the Federated States of Micronesia. Even if you don't believe in ghosts, you gotta admit that a place known as the world's biggest underwater graveyard is more likely than most to be haunted. Located in the Western Pacific, Chuuk Lagoon served as a Japanese naval base during World War II. It was attacked by Allied forces, resulting in approximately 3,000 deaths. Today, it's the final resting place of over 60 ships, tanks, and aircraft. Over time, Chuuk Lagoon has become a popular diving destination for history buffs and thrill seekers. If the sight of abandoned ship carcasses isn't macabre enough for you, divers also report hearing engines turning on and operating on their own. Not to mention, there are still human remains in the Manchac Swamp, Louisiana. Generally speaking, swamps are full of unpleasant creatures. Mosquitoes, alligators, toads, and in the case of Manchac Swamp, apparently ghosts. According to the locals, a voodoo priestess named Julia Brown once lived on the edge of the swamp. She used to sit on her front porch and sing, "One day I'm going to die and take the whole town with me." In the end, this creepy prophecy came true. On the day of Brown's funeral, a devastating hurricane came out of nowhere and wrecked nearby towns. Since then, many have assumed that the disaster was brought on by Julia Brown's wrath. The curse of the voodoo priestess has become the most famous ghost story in the area, and visitors claim to have heard her Devil's Pool, Australia. Also known as Babinda Boulders, this natural pool can be found in a small town in Queensland, Australia. With its beautiful jade green waters, it hardly seems to deserve its reputation of being cursed. But the stream is more dangerous than it looks. 18 people have lost their lives there since 1959, most of them being young men. The reason behind these deaths, according to a legend by the Yidinji people, is rooted in the legend of Ulana, a princess who fell in love with a warrior from a rival tribe. The lovers eloped, but were soon captured and separated, and the heartbroken Ulana threw herself into the water. Locals say her ghost still haunts the Devil's Pool to this day, luring male travelers to Lake, New Hampshire. Some places look so creepy they just have to be haunted. This is the case for the very literally named Haunted Lake. Though no one knows for sure how the lake earned its name, several explanations have popped up over the years. The oldest one claims that a terrible fire once ravaged the forest surrounding the pond, leaving its banks charred and desolate. For many years, the place was avoided by both locals and immigrating Europeans. Those who were brave enough to explore it reported hearing strange shrieks after nightfall. In 1780, Irish immigrant David Scobie was building a mill near the lake when he made a discovery that only contributed to the place's ghastly reputation: the skeleton of a young man lying in a shallow grave. Changi Beach, Singapore. Since it's commonly believed that ghosts tend to haunt places that were struck by death and suffering, there's no better example of this than Changi Beach. Today, this shoreline may look like the perfect place to take a relaxing stroll, but during World War II, it was the site of a horrifying massacre carried out by the Japanese Imperial Army. In 1942, 66 Chinese men were bound by ropes and forced to walk into the shallows of Changi Beach, where they were executed by machine guns. The few survivors were bayoneted or drowned. Locals believe the victims' ghosts remained trapped on the shores, and many people have reported hearing screams of agony and mourning around the beach. Okiku's Well, Japan. There are few people in Japan who haven't heard the tale of Okiku, a ghost story with multiple variations. During the Edo period, a servant named Okiku caught the eye of a samurai and refused his advances. In revenge, he framed her for losing one of his family's 10 precious plates, then threw her into a well. Legend says her ghost tormented him by counting the plates repeatedly, letting out a blood-curdling scream after getting to 9. The story was often recounted in Japanese plays and is known for inspiring the 2002 horror movie The Ring. As for the well, it's become a popular tourist destination, and some say Okiku's voice can still be heard, counting and recounting the plates. Bride's Pool, Hong Kong. Located in Plover Cove Country Park, the Bride's Pool is one of Hong Kong's many hidden natural treasures. The scenic creek earned its name from a local legend. On a stormy day, a bride was passing by the pool in her wedding sedan carried by 4 porters. One of the porters slipped, and the unfortunate bride fell into the water and drowned. Since then, visitors have reported seeing strange apparitions there, including the ghost of a woman dressed in traditional wedding clothes. There has also been an unusually high amount of car accidents on the nearest road, which prompted locals to call it the Deadly Curve. By day, the Bride's Pool is a popular destination for hikers, but it's strongly advised not to visit the Bermuda Triangle. The Bermuda Triangle is without a doubt one of the most prominent mysterious places on the planet. Over the years, at least 50 ships and 20 airplanes have inexplicably vanished in this mysterious stretch of ocean between Bermuda, South Florida, and Puerto Rico. Consequently, the area also known as the Devil's Triangle has become associated with several stories of ghost ships, like the USS Cyclops or the Carol A. Deering. Over the years, people have offered plenty of possible explanations, some far more believable than others. Theories cover everything from rogue waves and magnetic anomalies to UFOs and the lost city of Atlantis. For now, the Bermuda Triangle remains shrouded in mystery, and we definitely don't want to dip our toes in that. Lower Yellowstone Falls, Wyoming. This impressive waterfall is the setting of a piece of folklore that dates back to 1870. There are various versions of the tale, and it's possible that none is true, but they all involve a group of militiamen and a Native American tribe called the Sheep Eaters, so named for their primary food source. The most common version of the story has the Sheep Eaters stealing the militiamen's horses during the night. After chasing them down, the explorers found them attempting to cross the river on a raft. The current was too powerful, and the Sheep Eaters calmly accepted their fate, chanting their death songs before going over the falls. It's said that if you stand near the brink of the lower falls, you can still hear echoes of their song, and sometimes see the water turn blood red. Lake Ronkonkoma, Long Island. Long Island's largest lake has claimed its fair share of victims, and some locals believe these deaths are the consequence of a tragic love story that unfolded centuries ago. As legend goes, an Algonquin princess named Tuscawanta fell in love with an English woodcutter. Unfortunately, her father forbade her from seeing him. Desperate, Tuscawanta wrote love letters on tree bark, hoping they would float their way to her lover. After getting no response from him, she rowed to the middle of the lake and stabbed herself through the heart. Rumors say she now drags young men to their doom in search of her true love, and though the lake welcomes thousands of tourists each year, some still live in fear of the Lady of the Lake.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe our channel and support us. Please like, share and comment and click the notification bell for future update and check out our other videos.